Your game is over, fart sniffer. You will never get away with your crimes. The help is coming, and you better...
Not so fast, fart sniffer. Now, let him go. No, 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 no.
The animation you just saw before the intro was made by Slyboots. I have linked his channel in the description. Check him out if you like silly cartoons. And now on with the video. Today we're gonna take a look at the anatomy of a character arc, what it's used for, and certain types of character arcs. I'm Leopold from Stargazer Movies, and let's get right into it. In its most primitive form, a character arc shows the change a character undergoes throughout the story. Since in the most stories we want our protagonists to end up wiser or smarter than they were in the beginning, they must undergo change.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic.
A character that already knows what to do and where to go within the first 5 minutes of the film is boring, because we don't go on a journey with them. We want our heroes to start off naive and foolish, because then their eventual rise to glory is that much more satisfying. Now, change isn't always positive. Sometimes our heroes stray ever farther from the light, but more on that when we cover the fall from grace in a moment. You can divide different types of character arcs into many varied categories, but I have chosen 4 which I think do quite nicely show the differences between them. The first is ordinary to hero. This is when someone goes from being a nobody to being a somebody. Think Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, or Neo in The Matrix. They start off as unimportant moisture farmers, or IT people. I don't actually remember what Neo was before being the chosen one.
Hello?
Hello, Neo. Do you know who this is?
Morpheus.
Yeah.
Anyways, these nobodies are suddenly thrust into a world they never before imagined, and not only do they need to learn to survive, but also how to lead. As viewers, we love this type of arc because we often feel like nobodies ourselves, and watching other nobodies on their way to glory lets us identify with them. Similar to the ordinary to hero is the immoral to moral. This is the story of a mean, bad person turning around and becoming good. Think Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, or even Darth Vader in Star Wars. This arc is similar to ordinary to hero in the sense that it's a quote-unquote good transformation. We like watching people become good because it reinforces our trust in humanity and shows us that everyone has the potential to be good. We like giving second chances. The flip side of the immoral to moral is the fall from grace. Here we watch good and honorable people we like, respect, and even identify with turn dark and vile. Examples for this are Eisenberg in Breaking Bad and Michael Corleone in The Godfather. This character arc doesn't usually make for one of the most relaxing or feel-good stories, but it's visceral and it grips us tight, not letting us go until the movie's over. There's something very heart-aching in watching good people be devoured by greed or hubris or whatever, and then watching them be plunged into darkness. The last category I'd like to talk about is the rise and fall. This is a very specific one, but I thought it was still worth mentioning because it is arguably one of the most tragic. In this one, we watch a good person rising to power, wealth, fame, the first part of the film. But along their journey, they start to compromise their morals more and more, and then in the second part, everything they worked so hard for is taken away from them, and they fall right back to where they started. Now yes, arguably this is more of a plot device than a character arc, but what's really interesting is how the character changes in reaction to their newfound status. A good example for this is Catch Me If You Can.
I mean, come on, he's dabbling in government checks here. I've been following a paper trail on this guy for months now. Hey, you mind taking that gun out of my face? Please, really. I mean, it makes me nervous.
A character arc used well doesn't only show change, however. Ultimately, it should also reinforce a story's theme. The newfound wisdom the character obtains by the end of the film should also be the message you want your audience to remember. Stranger Things, I believe, incorporates its theme beautifully into the arc of Steve Harrington. Let's take a look. Steve Harrington starts off as a despicable, self-centered high school bully. He's a womanizer, very irresponsible to the point of risking other people's lives, and destroys this poor schmuck's camera.
Here you go, man. Come on, let's go. The game's about to start. Boo.
Everything Steve does is in order to inflate his ego. When his girlfriend realizes what kind of guy she's in a relationship with, however, she decides to take a break from their relationship to think about what it means to her. This shocks him and he forces himself to reconsider his character and his actions. In the season 1 finale, he shows guilt and comes back to save her and the boy whose camera he broke. So far so good, we've seen him start off as a terrible person and slowly improve himself. By the end of season 1, however, he hasn't fully embraced his lessons yet. The character arc hasn't reached the climax. The main motivation was always to get his girl back, after all. So, when, in the beginning of season 2, she then breaks up with him for good, he doesn't know what to do.
We're partying. This is bullshit.
Like we're in love?
Bullshit.
You don't love me?
It's bullshit.
He's hurt and can't take solace in friends either because his jock friends don't follow him anymore. He's recently been dethroned by a new kid.
Steve, he's going up.
Then you turn bitch.
Hey, maybe you should just shut up and play the game.
Instead, he learns his lessons and starts to care for others truly. He helps a boy, the friend of his ex's brother, on his quest to learn more about the supernatural. Here, for the first time, we see him truly care about someone else and put that person first. On the way, he advises him in matters of the heart.
Perfect hair, all right? It's not about the hair, man. The key with girls is just acting like you don't care.
Even if you do?
Yeah, exactly. It drives them nuts.
Then what?
You just wait until you feel it.
In the season finale, Steve finds himself babysitting a bunch of 12-year-olds. This is wonderfully ironic because these are the exact kids he bullied in the beginning of the series. Now, he's more worried about protecting them than himself. He's found his new identity. Steve will, however, be forced to actively accept and reinforce this identity when the new kid attacks. Steve's fight against Billy is representative of his own interior struggle. Over the last 2 seasons, Steve has been fighting the bully within himself, slowly pummeling him into submission and paving the way for his new self.
You are so dead, Sinclair! You're dead.
No.
You are.
Steve!
Looks like you got some fire in you after all, huh? I've been waiting to meet this King Steve everybody's been telling me so much about.
Get out.
The fight against the physical bully is Steve's affirmation of his change in character. By fighting this bully, he shows the world he's changed. I believe this is a very well done character arc because not only does it work well within the setting of Stranger Things, it also reinforces the theme of friendship, above all else. This is exactly the lesson Steve learns over the 2 seasons, and it's the one the writers want you to remember. I hope you found this video educating, or in the least entertaining. If you did, please consider subscribing. It shows me that people are actually interested in these kind of video essays, which I do spend a lot of time writing and editing. I upload videos every Saturday, so stick around till then, and we'll see what kind of fun stuff I come up with to upload next Saturday. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.